We are the Jim and Terry Show, two retired guys with a podcast. We got nothing better to do with our lives, so we have a mug of coffee and chinwag about stuff. But we found a new theme. Out of the darkness of our dark roast coffee, the Jim and Terry Show, Save America, the new theme.
And we're holding up a mirror. Now, I want to say just a disclaimer here.
I don't like looking in mirrors, Jim.
We both admitted that sometimes there's some things we need to change. So the first one was faith. If you're not going to follow Jesus Christ, you might have made up a new faith. The second one's going to be...
we're going to go into an analysis of the claim of the United States being the country of law and order, rules and regulations, and yet they are the lawless state, or so it seems. We are going to hold up these mirrors, what Jim has alluded to as a mirror analogy. I'm going to say that we're like the James Webb Space Telescope, which has those hexagonal mirrors that had to unfold. So we're going to look at different facets of the mirror and hold them up to... And why are we picking up the United States? We're holding the mirror to the United States. Of course, the same analyses can be used for Canada or any other country.
Yep.
It's just a matter of, and you and I have...
This theme is just America, jeepers.
Yeah.
It's a big country. Right now it stands out in the whole world. You know, its leaders, there's not a day that there's not something controversial going on. So, yes, this series of shows is just a reflection on America.
A reflection, which is what a mirror does, throws something back at you. Because we often don't think the thing we see in the mirror, at least I don't, when I wake up in the morning, I say, my God, what's that?
I've covered all my mirrors. They're all covered.
That's right.
Like a Jewish funeral.
Vampires do the same thing. Don't want to see what's there. You can't see what's there. Okay, so the mirror, the facet that we're holding up today for analysis is the lack of law and order. And we could talk about Trump as the chaos agent, where order is anything but what Trump is interested in.
Well, you could spend all day talking about the things that he just did without getting any legal permission or anything, or even consulting. He went to war, for God's sakes, twice without consulting Congress.
But he made peace with 8 different countries, or 9, or a dozen, or whatever.
Some of them were 3,000 miles away from each other.
So without congressional, they will hair split and say, well, he doesn't need permission until the war goes 60 days.
We're in 90 days.
So the reality
is,
and not only that,
what other president has gone to war without getting congressional?
I think maybe Persian 1, Persian Gulf 2, the Bushes 1 and 2 went to...
He didn't get permission?
Well, they did eventually, and that the famous...
Within the 60 days.
The famous thing, you start it, and then within the 60-day framework.
That's just stupid in itself, you know.
When, the general had to go to the United Nations and claim weapons of mass destruction and show overhead satellite imagery and claim that these were weapons of mass destruction.
And what was that, Terry?
It was all fake. Colin Powell was the general who was asked by George W. Bush, to justify to the United Nations. So the United States sought approval on a global scale for this war on terror.
But unfortunately, they lied.
They lied.
And seems to be the pattern.
Well, that's the foundation of lawlessness, to lie.
You know what? Oops! I tore down the East Wing. Oops!
My bad.
Now, bad. I'm sorry, but now we got a $1 billion hole to fill.
With concrete reinforced, and who knows what else is going there. You say he's going to go in there and he'll never come out.
Well, I think all the rich are preparing for something that's. By the way, keep November open.
Oh yes.
No, we don't need to go there.
Well, one of his main contributors, and I'm not sure which AI firm this fellow represents, but he purchased multi-million-dollar homes in Argentina.
There's a number, Marjorie Taylor Greene's like in Brazil.
What?
Yeah.
So everybody's going to South America?
Everybody's they're getting out.
They're getting out of the U.S., but really? Brazil?
I think it's Brazil.
Argentina?
We can look it up later. It's something like that.
Remember
She's
Trump,
moved.
Okay, Trump gave, I don't know how many, several hundred billion to Argentina to bail them out economically.
Yeah, $10 billion, I think.
So is that where the rich are going to go for their bunkers you're talking about. You mentioned a podcast where they're all building.
Yeah, well, is it Zuckerberg? I think he just built a 750, maybe it's only $730 million bunker under one of his homes. You might want to look into even Oprah's house in Hawaii, because there's a lot of controversy around the fires.
Yes,
and
we covered
her
that
acquiring more land, people gone missing, and just declaring a thing that was a state park, something other than that.
So in the theme of lawlessness, which is our second facet looking at America, is it more true in America than anywhere else that the wealthy can get away with murder?
Probably not.
Epstein files?
It's bigger. And there it's
more obvious and more out in the open?
It's becoming so blatant. I mean, from an outsider looking in, I see nothing in the future other than destruction.
So you don't see America being able to recapture the essence of their Statue of Liberty plaque, bring us the orphans, the widows,
never
the
again.
homeless?
That's my opinion, and I'm just
There will
saying
never be America the Great. America of, say, Ronald Reagan to the conservatives represents the peak of conservatism.
We got to stick to the theme of this show, because I could go all off into the betrayal of nations. I think the United States is going to pull the plug on Israel. I think they're going to be spectators when the world comes against Israel. The United States is going to do nothing.
Okay, that's injecting your veneer of Armageddon and the Book of Revelation.
But things I see, just when I start observing it, you don't even have to look at it as them being pulled away because they're the restrainer. Not that. It's the self-preservation, this desire that we're great, we don't have to get involved. And when money's involved, their leader has a major problem. And Israel has, up to $100 billion aid from the United States, when it was only going to be like 16 or something. I can't remember.
And meanwhile, Ukraine has been cut off.
And Ukraine has been totally cut off and betrayed. They've betrayed Canada. They've betrayed NATO. NATO's weaker because of them, because of Trump and his administration. And all of those things, a lot of those things were done, if not all, illegally.
Yes, and that's the essence of this mirror, is that it's illegal. Now, what if you do prosecute the crimes of this administration? Trump was convicted by a court of his peers in the state of New York and convicted.
And since that, Terry, he's made a couple of billion extra dollars for himself.
And since then, he became president when you can't be a felon and run for president.
Yeah. Since then, he's buried the Epstein files.
I thought you were going to say he buried his wife.
Well,
he
that
did
too.
In the golf course.
And he got tax exempt in the golf course
because
it's a burial ground.
Oh my gosh! If it wasn't so sad, this truth, it would be funny.
Well, look at even who's the he's gay. He was a liar. He became a senator or something, and he just lied and lied and lied. Funny little.
Oh yes, I know who you're speaking of, because the story was just breaking this week. George Santos.
Inside trading. He's just been arrested for inside trading.
Who would have thought?
Well, he's being investigated for inside trading.
Okay.
And you know what he's inside trading on?
No.
Will George Santos attend?
Oh my gosh.
He started that. He said he's going and didn't go.
That's
money, ka-ching, ka-ching.
Yeah, illegal gambling, that predictive market stuff is, it should be illegal. It's the same as watching those darn commercials on gambling on TV. Get rid of them.
Well, look at the military guy made $400,000,
and he's being investigated now too.
And he's being and should be.
Of course, he
put
should.
His whole friggin' country at risk because he wanted money.
But then the lawlessness of Trump, the most lawless president
ever. That's what
we're
looking at.
3,700 stock market transactions. In the first quarter of this year by Trump alone.
He's bought up companies and all kinds of, even that DoorDash. He invested in DoorDash, then did a whole ad for them.
And then got the lady to come. The poor lady's toothless and a granny and
doesn't live even in Washington.
No, so how sad that you use people like that. Well, is
she knew it. I'm not.
course
She's
she-
not innocent.
Of
They're not
course.
innocent, and all of his sycophants. There's that word again.
Yeah.
But all of them are guilty of backing a guy they know is a crook, backing a guy they know is a felon.
Do they know that? You and I are convinced of it. We look for the money trail. We follow the
Well,
evidence.
two of them are his lawyers. They know. They absolutely know.
When two of your lawyers are in your administration
Yeah.
instead of locked up, I'm wondering what.
Well,
good.
look at the guy now in charge of the Secret Service.
Yeah.
Whatever that is. All the Secret Services, like the FBI, he has access to all that material. Now, when
he was a
the
former
housing,
J6 protester.
yeah, and when he was a part of the housing thing, immediately he went after Trump's enemies.
Yep, exactly. Revenge is mine.
Not even enemies, to tell you the truth, just people that said something against Trump.
Something against him.
Yeah.
Isn't that funny?
Yeah.
The mirror that we're holding up is the illegality, and I'm afraid there's no both sides about this one.
Not
There may be, but the scale is off the charts.
Yeah,
and that's where we're-
you know he's going to get
He's
total
gonna get
a tax exemption for him, his family, and all his businesses, and his friends he chooses.
It's complicated, Jim. Bye-bye for now.
With my morning coffee. It's from the way that I